Bangers. Where they at? Cheers. Where are the Rays at? Where they at? They're going to be teeing off with Evolve on fucking Monday.
Yep.
What the hell is that hat?
All right, we're back.
Bullshit, man.
Beers and bets. We're here to preview the week 7 of the NFL. First, though, Jimmy, we got to talk some baseball.
Yep.
Red
Ain't
Sox
over yet.
exclusively.
Ain't over yet.
Yep, I agree. The lineup has kind of slowed down the last couple games, but before then, the lineup was on fire. You take it away with your thoughts before I get into it, because I want to get into some specifics.
Well, my dad was a Sox fan, you know, and you know the story, right? So, like, he always is negative about it. I'm not exactly the most positive about it, but I always
follow
text
in
him,
his footsteps.
But I text him, and he'll text me being like, it's OVER, and like, you know, each fucking letter.
Yeah,
and I'm
all
like,
caps.
Right, it is, and I'm like, why are you doing that, man? So it's never over, man. And if you go back in 2019 when the Nationals won the World Series, they were down 3-2. And they had to go back to Houston and win both those games. And if they could do it, I know they had help me out, Brett Strasburg. He pitched in Game 6 and he pitched great. But hey, the Astros pitched Verlander in that same game, and so I think that and in that series also in the Nats took the first 2 of that series, and then the next 3 the Astros outscored them 19-3, and they did all that in Washington. So I guess so much for the bang in the trash can, because they did it on the road, and then Game 6 and 7 though the Nats came back and won. So I think Game 5 was just, we didn't have a good approach at the plate. Nobody won. I mean, in Game 4, the first one we lost, you know, the other night.
That's what I want to get into more than
anything. We had actually 7 walks that night. We only had 5 hits. We had the bases loaded multiple times and multiple full counts, like a lot of full counts, like more than I can remember ever really watching in a game. I don't have the number here.
Yeah.
But in that game, Verdugo and Martinez were both 0 for 3. They both had a walk, but neither scored a run. If they're not, if fucking Martinez isn't hitting in the lineup, they really do. And it can happen, man. That game,
but
the offense
don't
was
you
there.
think them going to Houston, it almost, you know, Game 6 of all these starting, it's almost like kind of pressures off a little bit.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Like just whatever.
Like
we should be happy.
I think Boston they have their fans too. It's like, I'm not you. I just mean the fan base in general. Like the expectation is so high when you get to the playoffs. Like it is unacceptable to lose if you're in the playoffs. So almost like getting away from Fenway, it might be a blessing in disguise. And the fact that you do have Evaldi going, I think is a big help.
I'm telling you.
So you brought up Evaldi. This is what I really wanted to focus on, because going back to Game 4 on Tuesday, Cora puts in Evaldi going into the 8th inning. Correa hits that leadoff double, and
almost get out
Hunter
of
Renfroe should have caught that.
He could have caught that ball. Yeah,
the other Hunter Renfroe would have caught it.
Yeah, probably.
Renfroe in Oakland would have caught the damn ball.
Yep.
But it was a risky decision by Cora, because you bring Evaldi in there, and it's almost like you could destroy Evaldi's confidence from what happened, and then
that won't destroy it.
He wasn't going to start Game 5 regardless.
No. Sale was starting Game 5.
They were going to wait till Game 6.
For why, and Cora answered why he brought it. It was once he got him up and got him warm, he wasn't going to sit him down. You know what I'm saying? Like once his arm was hot,
he had already used his arm.
He's not going to waste them. And typically starters do throw a bullpen like 2 or 3 days before their start.
Yeah.
So to go out there and throw 20, 30 pitches, it's really and so I think you just see in the postseason more, it's like not every guy can do that. Evaldi's proven he can, but like you've seen a lot in that Dodgers series, those starters, they can't handle it. Walker Buehler, Urias, even Scherzer, they're not the same guy out of the pen.
And I have in my notes here too, like it's been great with Cora, man. A lot of the moves he's done, he's made the right call and a lot of shit. And this last 2-3 game, whatever, this series, some of the shit hasn't gone the right way. I mean, that didn't go right.
I thought he
didn't go right.
I thought he kept sailing way too long.
Well, last night Sale was actually pitching well. I watched his post game on it, and the slider was working.
Kind of like,
well, they had second and third.
Right, with the
lefty.
The
dude had already gone off the wall or hit a homer. And
Alvarez,
it was, I thought maybe walk and get the bases loaded, but I watched Cora's interview, and that's just, he sticks with his guys, man. And those guys got him a ring in his first year as a manager. So it's hard to, but another one with him sticking with those guys is Schwarber. Like, stuff's finally kind of being like evident. Like, the more you play, Schwarber's dropping a ball at first base that any baseball player in the big leagues catch it. Like, it hit him right in the, like, he dropped. It's just he's overthinking shit. There's stuff where he's just not. And Altuve took advantage of him on a play last night too. It might have been the one where he dropped it, and he knew either way I'm going to third, which got him to think more. And when you start thinking like in a position like that, you just got to. It's got to be muscle memory. You can't.
And then Uvalde comes in, gives up that first run. The bases end up being loaded on a walk after a questionable strike call. And then Cora pulls the string on him without giving Uvalde a chance to dig him out of that hole.
Yeah.
All they needed was one more out, and he brings in Perez, and then
it was only one run at that point.
Yeah, it was 3-2. Yeah, and then Perez gives up 6 runs, 6 more runs.
Yeah, our bullpen was. I mean, the bullpen in fucking 4 gave up 10 hits. 3 walks in 4 innings, and then in game 5 had 1 walk in 8 hits and 6 walks in 3 2/3.
Those aren't good numbers.
No, man. And that was my fear the whole year. That's why I'm surprised we're here. So I'm again going back to Houston, dude. It's just like, you know what? Do your whatever. Fuck it, man. But we're the lineup's not going to go quiet. I hope not. They just can't, man. They're too good.
A month ago, you would have taken the chance to win 2 games in a row to get you to the World Series.
Hell yeah, dude.
No matter what. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and they get to face a rookie in game 6 too. You know, you've already beat up on this kid once before. So
who they got going?
That Luis Garcia.
Okay. Yeah. I don't even know the kid.
Yeah. So. I mean, I think they have a better chance than the Dodgers. You know, obviously the Dodgers have tried everything at this point. You know, they've gone with the starters out of the pen.
Yeah, they're
so tonight, you know, I think Matt and I we were talking that Joe Kelly's starting it off for him.
Yep.
He's pitching tonight.
He's
starting.
He is their opener. He is their opener.
Well, he used to start for the Cardinals. He started a World Series game for the Cardinals against the Red Sox, I think.
And to me, he's kind of like a poor man Eovaldi. You know, if that fastball is locating, he could come out and tear him up for an inning or 2.
Yeah.
I just think the Dodgers pose the biggest threat to any AL team.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The Braves are hot, but the
Braves scare me more.
Yeah, it's just because they're hot at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dodgers versus Astros or Dodgers versus Red Sox just sounds so much better than fucking.
It's gonna be probably Braves.
Fucking Braves, Astros.
They're just a good team.
Braves, I mean, I would get behind the Braves, obviously.
Yeah, I think anybody will. Just nobody wants to see the fucking Astros win, man. And
that Eddie Rosario kid on the Braves was gonna hit for the cycle last night, and instead of hitting a double in the late innings, smacked another home run out of the ballpark. So he needed a double to get a cycle.
He could have just hung out at second base and just not gone. And like, I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. I want this in the
because that was a trade deadline addition to Rosario. They got him from the Twins for almost nothing.
Yeah, and he can play. I'd never heard of the guy till last night.
Well,
Eddie Rosario.
He's been in Minnesota. Yeah,
Eddie Rosario.
Yeah. I think too. I don't know
how
much you guys have watched of that Dodgers series. You know, for whatever reason, with Max Muncy out, who's their normal first baseman, usually Bellinger's in center. So with Muncy out, they moved Bellinger out of center, where he's won a Gold Glove, put him at first, and moved a guy that's always only played shortstop or second base out to center field. And it's showing up every game, like 2 plays every game. I almost feel bad for him because he's a rookie, It's like this, you're putting them in a situation to fail.
Hey, you know, I could play better, you little bitch. Get out there and catch the damn ball.
But apparently they don't have anybody else they can move to first base
Right.
if they're taking their stud center fielder.
Hey, you know what? Whose fault is that? They're spending $14 billion a player on that damn roster.
Put Mookie Betts.
Put Scherzer out there. He's getting paid enough. Why don't you unsuspend Bauer and get his ass out there?
Or why not put fucking the rookie at second or something and put Mookie in center? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Center field seems like an important position to me.
I'm
not a baseball expert.
The Dodgers' hesitation to Mookie played, I think, just a handful of games in center, where Boston would play him in center. You know, if JBJ was out and
he plays center,
he was the next trusted guy. Yeah. And it's just weird that I think the Dodgers played him almost as much at second this year as they did in center. And it's just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That's that analytical shit.
Ain't over yet.
Backfiring.
All right. Yeah, let's stay optimistic about the Red Sox.
Houston might still have a problem. It ain't over yet.
Yeah, we'll have to wait till tomorrow to see how it plays out from here. But let's move over to football. We got a pretty, unpredictable game here tonight. Broncos at Browns. The line has been moving a lot. The Browns are now 1.5-point favorites.
Seems like Michael J. Fox.
Shit, it is bouncing then.
The over-under is at 40.5. So, Jimmy, you get first dibs at it. Your team's playing. You get first crack.
Money line, Broncos. And if we can't win this one.
I like it.
If we can't win tonight, I know, Breads, you said you've looked into shit and they're not getting rid of Fangio. But if we can't win tonight, I don't know, dude. If Case Keenum leaves the Broncos and then 3 years later – beats us
comes back to haunt you.
Yeah, I'm gonna just throw the fact that he's still in the league is shocking. That over under is pretty low, but I guess they're thinking that Cleveland's not going to be able to do anything. I'll go Broncos money line.
Yeah, Brad, what do you think about this one?
I like the Broncos. I was actually the line's down to a 1 point flat, and I was going to take the Broncos in the point as the dog. The Browns. We all know that without Baker, Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Odell, their right tackle's out, their center's out. Left tackle is playing though this week actually. But it's a defense giving up 25 points a game, and now you have Case Keenum running the ball with Dearness Johnson, and it's just I think Denver's defense is too tough, and Vaughn was pissed this past week. I don't know if you caught the quote.
He said he was going to kill somebody.
That he literally said, I don't care who I'm facing, because they were asking what he thought of the Cleveland O-line. He goes, I don't care who I'm facing. I'm just going to kill him.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one. I listened to Brandon
right
Stoker's show. I didn't see that.
And, Vaughn lines up over the right tackle a lot.
Yeah. He's going to be right there yelling.
This backup. He has never seen somebody like Vaughn.
And Vaughn's he's not outspoken like that either. I'm surprised I didn't see that quote pop up on YouTube or anything. Yeah. I didn't do as much. It's
I think it really comes down to, can the Browns run defense, which isn't soft by any means. They usually get killed in the passing game, but it's kind of that run defense of the Browns versus that running game of the Broncos, I think.
Yeah, it's a shame we lost a guy like Hamler, man, because he was really starting to make plays in a game like tonight where the play action to him, we don't really have that threat right now, and that sucks.
I disagree with Cortland. You don't think?
He's not as fast, though. He's just not. He's not.
It's just a different
not a burner
threat.
He can still catch some 40
he'll make plays for us. Tim Patrick will make plays for us, but there's a difference. I'm saying for
it was interesting. They did activate John Brown. He could be playing tonight for the Broncos.
The Broncos. I didn't even know he was on the Broncos.
I'm saying the Cardinals, dude. He played for the Cardinals.
The little guy
played for the Bills and then the Cardinals.
Yeah, he can burn. All right.
They picked him up off of nothing.
Oh, hey, this is the Broncos fan. So.
They picked John Brown off the street.
Sox have been in the playoffs, dude. Priorities, man.
But so that's another interesting aspect to that
offense.
Yeah,
that is. That's cool.
Yeah, so I think Cleveland they don't have enough.
All right.
What about you, Matt?
I got the same pick as you. I got Broncos. I had the Broncos getting 1.5. Now you say it's moved to Broncos +1. I'll take that. You already kind of said it for me. The Browns are missing all their weapons. The Broncos defense is good enough to shut down a team that's missing everybody.
And they're pretty healthy on defense.
This is a make or break game for both teams. and the Broncos are in better shape to win this one than the Browns are. You know,
the only big factor, and it sounds lame, but it does play, is that it's in Cleveland. Like if it was in Denver, I would be really like I'd be confident. But
Right.
just being a primetime game, short week, they always are weird. You
guys
like
aren't
the
worried
games
about
are always
Bridgewater.
different.
I mean, because he was a game time decision. He had like
He's
a
a
knee
fucking
and a
putz,
quad.
man. I hope
I
he's out.
feel better about Bridgewater going on the road for a Thursday night game than I would Drew Lock starting this game, where Drew
100%.
Lock could completely fuck
That's my
this one up
only
for
worry
him.
with this Broncos is if, let's say, we get to halftime and Bridgewater just can't go, then it's the Drew Lock show. And
Yeah, we've seen
we've
that.
kind of seen that before.
I've watched that series.
He's the white Jameis.
I binge watched that
Yeah.
one last year. It's terrible.
Just send him to Sean Payton. He'll ruin him too in a year.
What's up with that damn hat we're at? And why? Could you explain?
Dude, AL East champions.
We beat them.
I was thinking it would make you feel better with the Red Sox on the ropes, you know, remind you that they won a playoff series.
I guess so. I'm like, well, what am I? Yeah, we beat the two teams in the AL East.
True story about the hat is I ordered the hat online so I could wear it on the podcast when the Rays cleaned up the Red Sox in the divisional round.
Oh,
but with all the COVID stuff delaying shipping, I didn't get it in the mail until like last Friday.
So
how much did that loser hat cost you?
I think $20, man.
Yeah, money well spent, man.
Yeah.
You know how many cigarettes that is? Dude?
That is about 80 cigarettes.
Could have gotten a carton.
Mo could do that
20 times
for
5.
Us,
That's
guys,
100
no,
smokes.
100 guys.
100 smokes.
No, but Zada and my they're gonna steal like 5.
The hat ain't worth it. I would have gone with smokes.
I would have gone with smokes too.
Well,
damn right.
The hat will last a lot longer than the smokes.
Banger! It is a cool hat, actually.
We all got Broncos.
I like the old logo.
So we all have Broncos.
Yep.
So probably bet Cleveland then tonight.
Yeah,
if you're
if you're gonna listen to this.
I don't know. The betting, us picking the spreads were better individually last week. It's that the locks of the week we got to hone in on.
Yeah.
Those I have the numbers.
I'll
save them
we'll
for
get into
when we
that
get
later.
there.
We'll get into that later.
But
yeah.
I'm
next
doing way
game,
better than y'all.
one of the best noon games is Chiefs at Titans. Chiefs are 4.5-point favorites on the road. I'll start here. I will take the Chiefs minus 4.5. I think the Titans lost too many pieces of their secondary in that game against the Bills Monday night that they're not going to be able to slow the Chiefs down. Derrick Henry will get his, but as the course of the game goes along, the Chiefs will pull away with this one. So I am worried because the Titans are that type of team that when it's a big game, I mean, we just saw it against the Bills. They play better. The better their opponent is, the better the Titans play.
They play up to their opponent.
Yeah.
For sure.
The only big thing for Tennessee is they lost Taylor Lewan, kind of all pro left tackle.
Is he out this week?
They haven't officially ruled him out, but he got carted off the field.
Yeah, I know. That's what I
So it's kind of like Kareem Hunt's thing. It's like, well, he might not be out for the year, but you're probably not playing a week after getting carted off the field.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. I mean, the Chiefs don't have much to exploit that.
Brett Favre will be playing the next quarter.
Yeah.
I honestly, so you think Kansas City, this is kind of a get right game for them almost?
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like every other drive, the Titans were losing another piece of their secondary in that Monday night game. Like Caleb Farley, the rookie, went down.
Mm-hmm. He's out for the year.
I can't even think of who was playing on the other side, but they said it on the commentary. The Titans were down to like the 5th corner on their roster. And when you're going to play Kansas City the next week, that's not a recipe for being able to slow them down.
Yep.
So that's where I stand. Brad, you take it away. What's your pick for this game?
I like the under. Over under is 57 and a half.
High.
57 and a half. You're looking at AJ and Julio are both still banged up with a questionable tag. Tyreek and Kelsey both banged up with a questionable tag. And you kind of brought up how Tennessee's secondary is so depleted. I just feel like they're almost going to not that other teams don't, but I think they're really going to put an emphasis on beat us with your running backs, beat us with your check down game. And so that's why I like the under. Kansas City's only covered the over that 57.5 once in the last 5 games. And Titans have done it twice. So it's just for two teams that people think of as like great matchup. always elite. I just think the scoring might be a little lower than people think.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it. The Chiefs Washington football team over was set at 54.5. And by halftime, you could tell it was not going to hit.
Right.
So it's such a high number, 57.5.
Yeah,
that means
really high.
you're counting on a 30 to 28 game at the least, which is
Yeah.
just a really high scoring
Or
game.
just the Chiefs shitting on them, but yeah.
Well, and it's kind of the two biggest wild card teams at this point. They've looked terrible at points, and they've looked really good at points.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what do you got? You back in the Chiefs?
No, I like
You like the points? You were going to take the under.
I
it
like
sounded like.
Yeah, it was, but I'll do the Tennessee plus 4.5. I think that I think they can just stay in the game. And if the Chiefs are, like you guys are saying, Bengal, I also think I like the under too, because I'm not doing a parlay, but I think that they'll be able to control kind of the clock more like Buffalo did, and just the Chiefs might not be out there enough to even get 57 points. Like, you know what I mean? I think Derrick Henry I think he has a good day against him.
Yeah. Yeah, but I have Derrick Henry for something later. I bet
Yeah,
I might not be
I
the
do
only
too. We
one.
might all have.
I thought about that in the
Sounds like we maybe should have talked beforehand.
Well,
yeah.
Hey, come with multiple options. That's all.
Yeah, I do. Trust me.
All right, Brad, the game we got up next is your team. They're at home. The Bengals are coming to town, a good divisional matchup. The Bengals are 4-2. Ravens are 5-1. Yep. The Bengals are getting 6.5 points at the Ravens, which we got an over under 46.5. I'll start this one off. This is too many points for a divisional stakes game. That 6.5, that's a number you get against a garbage team that's coming to town.
Yeah.
The Bengals are too good to be.
All of a sudden, the Ravens are getting a ton of love when weeks past they weren't getting any.
Yeah, we saw the Ravens squeak by against the Lions for 3 weeks in a row. They against the Chiefs, they squeaked by. Against the Lions, they eked out a win. There's another matchup I'm forgetting. Obviously, they blew out the Chargers last week, but that was the first convincing win.
They kind of slowly built momentum. They've been an ugly win team outside of last week.
So I'll keep it simple and go with what my eyes saw. I'll take the Bengals getting 6.5 points on the road. I don't think the Baltimore defense is quite as good as they looked last week against the Chargers. That game just got out of hand and nothing was working. Herbert made bad decisions early and it seemed like the team had given up by halftime. I mean, I know I did as a person that bet on the Chargers.
Yeah, they looked like
by
shit.
halftime.
That was surprising.
So I don't think Baltimore's defense is quite what it looked like last week.
No.
So, Brad, where do you stand on that one?
I'm going to take the under again here. I don't love the rate. I think Ravens win. Just 6.5 is a lot, especially the way they've kind of played. I'm taking the under again, back to back, I guess. Holy shit. But again, it's like each team has only covered the over once in the last 5 weeks. Lamar's rolling. I'd still, with no like clear cut, like stud running back, it kind of limits their offense a little. I think I thought Devonta Freeman looked the most explosive, but Lev Bell and Murray both still are getting touches and touchdowns.
What a weird backfield that is.
I know. Dude, and it's so funny that the undrafted rookie, the guy that initially was the only back still with the team, he's not dressing every week. And we're starting these 33-plus-year-old guys.
Yeah.
It's like a Madden ultimate team roster.
It is. Man. I like the under two with this. I know everybody's kind of building hype on Jamar Chase, but Marlon Humphreys, the 4 weeks, he's shadowed a guy. He didn't shadow anybody versus Indy, and he didn't shadow anybody against Detroit. But last week, he shadowed Mike Williams almost totally and held him to 2 for 27. He's matched up on Sutton 1-1, held Sutton to 3 for 47. Matched
quarterback
up on
got hurt that game.
It did. And honestly, that's the best of all these lines I'm gonna read off. Tyreek went against him. Tyreek went for 3 and 14. And then Ruggs was the other guys matched up, and Ruggs went 2 for 46. So I think if you take Jamar Chase out of this offense, like he's proven he can do, all of a sudden T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd isn't so scary against the Ravens defense.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point. Jimmy, what do you got this game?
Uh, Ravens minus 6.5.
Okay. Bengals aren't ready for this one.
No, I don't think they are. I don't know. And the Ravens, I think, are just getting better and better. I really do. And it's boring to go with the money line. So because it's minus 280. So yeah, I just think they're playing good right now, man. And I think it's a home game. I don't know. I think they come ready to play. But
Yeah.
the over's low. Hey, fuck it. Put the parlay on her.
The
Do
Ravens
over.
with the over. Screw the points.
over.
Parlay it with the over.
Okay.
Yeah, because that could hit, man. I mean, that's a pretty low one. And dude, Lamar again. I don't know. Is Marquise Brown healthy?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's good. Last week was his first real. I mean, last week was such a weird game because they were up by 20 so early. They didn't even need much offensively. Lamar had a bad game last week. It just didn't matter because they were so far out in front.
Now, it was interesting. Rashad Bateman, their first round pick, this was his first week back. Like most of the big, like he kind of became the de facto number one, which I think might free up Hollywood a little bit more because he's a big guy, so he can kind of handle that outside and let kind of Marquise do more of the Tyreek kind of stuff. I don't know. I like the Ravens a lot in this one.
Okay.
Yeah, and they had 14 different running backs, but it still worked, man. So even if if they have that whatever going on, if all those guys are going to buy in and just trying to get the dub, they are good running backs. They've been on good teams that haven't ever won, right? Lev Bell never won. And Devonta Smith or Devonta Freeman never won.
They've all had individual success.
Devonta Freeman got really close.
Yeah.
About as close as
he's been close. Yeah.
Yeah. And that you're wearing the shirt from the damn game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was that game. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
no, well, and I think always people forget too, even like sometimes I do. Lamar's 7th in the league in rushing. Your best running back is your quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. It's
those dudes are all just like decoys or whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Accent pieces
decoys,
or whatever.
Yeah. And the other thing is the Bengals defense has been pretty solid this year, but they haven't seen a Lamar yet. They haven't even seen anybody that mobile that I can remember.
No.
They played Jameis. He's semi-mobile.
Yeah, they haven't gotten Bridgewater yet.
It's a little different athlete.
Teddy Two Gloves has
different running style.
A little bit.
One looks like an athlete. One looks like a freaking
idiot.
Giant duck when he runs.
Yeah.
Looks like a Bambi out there. Jameis does.
Bambi.
All right.
He's looking around all the time when he's running, dude. Like, yeah, exactly. Like,
kind of prancing.
Well, just run or don't. Yeah. Like, stop trying to, because you're gonna turn and throw a pick when you're doing that shit, man.
Hey, he can slide though.
Across the body. Fucking. It's like, dude, quit pump. You're fooling your receiver, you jackass.
All right. Worthwhile Jameis tangent.
Yeah, always, man.
Next game is one of the 3:00 games. Eagles at Raiders. Raiders are 3-point favorites here.
Tell you what, man. I'm gonna be at Caesar's Palace watching.
Over is at 49. I'm gonna stick with the Raiders just because they've treated me good this year. Every time I tend to pick the Raiders, they come through. The Raiders defense is at least decent enough to slow down a mediocre offense with Jalen Hurts running it. And Henry Ruggs has come along this season. You know,
he is.
He actually looks like a first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
Whereas last year he was a ghost out there. He never.
Last year I was confident between him. It was him and then Judy. And then another receiver was
Justin Jefferson. Yeah. Everybody was high.
There was and I felt confident that we at least had like the second best guy. Like we might not have Jefferson, but this year
Jefferson was like the fucking 5th or 6th receiver taken.
Right. And now,
people thought he was a little too slow. Yeah.
But he's like the part better than all three of them, I think. And Ruggs is starting to also, and Judy hasn't been healthy, and that is the most important thing.
Yeah. So Jimmy, what's your pick for this game?
Are you doing money line?
I'm doing Raiders -3. I'll take them to cover the spread. I don't think we're allowed to do the money line favorites anymore. I just think it's not when we're all picking the spread and then you take a a favorite, taking the money line is just kind of
I'll go with the Raiders -3.
Okay.
I'll take that. Yeah. Again, yeah. I don't know how long they're going to be able to sustain it, but they came out looking pretty tough and playing inspired at least enough to win some games. So.
Yeah. And my notes, I'll write tough here for the Raiders. All right, Brad, you back in the Raiders too? You got other thoughts? You taking another under? You can't go three unders in a row.
I am going
you
under.
Motherfucker, dude.
The under of 49. I really that environment at home in Vegas. It seems like at least some of that fan base has gravitated out there. But the reason I like the unders, Jacobs is getting healthy. Drake looked excellent as a runner last week. I just think the Raiders get back to kind of the ground and pound, dink and dunk with Waller. And the Eagles offense just seems inept unless Hurts is doing something like out of his mind. Like their offense is not, he is not the athlete to say like, hey, lead us in passing and rushing like Lamar. And that's kind of what they're asking him to do at this point. And I just don't think it's realistic.
And they haven't even like given their running backs a chance to run the ball.
Right.
I know last week they were playing Tampa, which is a little bit of a different story because you almost assume you're not going to be able to run much on Tampa.
But, people can run like if they
once they finally tried, they actually had success. Miles Sanders broke off a couple like 15-yard runs. They just didn't do it until the fourth quarter.
Right.
Yeah. But the week before that, I think their running backs had like 3 total carries.
What's their record?
This doesn't make sense. I think they're 2-4, if I had to guess.
Okay. They're just like
2-4. They're fucked. Jalen Hurts just isn't good enough in the NFL.
He doesn't have anyone to throw to either, though. Like it's
Well, and they're dealing with injury shit themselves.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they don't have anyone, dude. They're just bad.
Yeah.
I think their coaching is
crazy
bad.
how quick it can go from you win a Super Bowl in 2017 to
coach is gone,
quarterback's gone.
Whole defense is pretty much
gone.
Yeah. When you start losing depth to other people, that are willing to pay him more.
Yeah, back up.
They've been there.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, so on that game, we got me and Jimmy are taking the Raiders, covering the spread. Brad's going with another under. Can you actually bet the unders? And every time I bet an under, like I just can't. I really have so much trouble doing it.
Don't watch it till halftime.
It's hard to watch. Yeah. It is.
All right.
You end up watching in just a very defensive mindset. Like you're rooting for every. You're watching. You're watching how
fucking field goal.
Yeah.
4th and 2, punt the ball.
Yeah, fucking what are you doing? Don't go for it on 4th and 1 when you're down by 3.
That's the weird shit with the unders, though. It's like when they're at that fringe territory and it's like 4th and 4.
That's the difference.
It's like fuck. I love that they're going, but god damn it, if they get this, son of a bitch.
Yeah. If it's a team you like, whatever. Yeah, you're like, well, I want them to get it.
It's just a different way to watch.
All right.
I know a lot of people aren't fans.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I take it like every once in a blue moon, and usually when I bet an under, like some crazy shit happens where, the under looks great until the fourth quarter, and then there's a pick six, a kickoff return, and another quick touchdown, and it's shot.
Side kick, and
So, all right, let's take a quick break there. We got 3 more games to pick, and then we'll get into our locks of the week, fantasy stuff, and all that.
And stay tuned because our picks are always our
the locks of the week. Like,
you guys stick around.
It's lucky that you can listen to them for free.
Yeah, this is free info. Yeah. The Seahawks and Mo and all these guys. Yeah. They should subscribe.
If there's one segment you want to be here for, it's the lock of the week.
Yeah, lock of the week. You got to stick around.
Just feel free to comment. And let us know how much money we made you.
Exactly. And then donate. Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
All right. We'll be right back.